chia seeds and quinoa in every aisle. Omega-3s like they're going out of style. A $10 juice with lactobacillus, or running around looking for that leafy cactus. Yet another study glorifying the coffee bean, but not to be left behind is the new Cheerios protein. New snack bars touting the joys of crickets, and flax seeds added to my tea time biscuits. Salted dark chocolate with the flavor of mole. The latest hipster drink is the turmeric latte. Always looking to disrupt, there is Silicon Valley with $400 juicers and powders. I guess that's Cali. Then there's my doctor, always on my case about vitamin D. But it's a big scam, don't you see? 20,000 medical studies a year, each going out on a limb with headlines that read, drinking a glass of wine as I go into the gym. So how exactly did we get here? Always looking for that elixir? Maybe we're in a state of desperation, having lived in this fast food nation. Diabetes keeps on the rise, life expectancy drops before my eyes. Heart disease and cancer continue to daunt. Hell, being healthy, that's something to flaunt. But it didn't always used to be this way. You see, our ancient ancestors never really had a say. We simply ate what nature had around, and it's likely chronic disease was almost never to be found. We ate mostly plants, a bit of meat, but mostly plants. Sugar came from honey, and snack might have been a few ants. It was these very plants that kept disease afar. Death mostly came from the wrath of nature or war. Then about 10,000 years ago, we began to farm, in the belief that it could do no harm. It certainly allowed us to rapidly proliferate, but it also caused us to quickly domesticate. We went from ingesting a wide variety to just a few grains to feed the new society, and so began a life of nutrient deficiency in return for a newfound industrial efficiency. Then along came fertilizers to grow food at scale, but it resulted in more emissions than from an automobile tail. We invented chemicals to make that perfect Jell-O slime and turn restaurants into factories to make burgers in real time. So yes, we scaled food like the mighty titans, 5 million soda machines, 600,000 food items. But we now get 2/3 of our calories from just 4 ingredients. Yes, we scaled our food, but we lost all our nutrients. And now we're collapsing under the weight of healthcare. But it is the food industry that must own up to its share. $2.7 trillion in healthcare spend subsuming, but the real culprit is what we are consuming. So here we are, frustrated and in search of the elixir. But there isn't one. Only that ancient formula is the real fixer. Now, how do we make these plants, these very plants, taste more divine? Because therein lies the real gold mine. Now, we often wonder about the role of technology. Perhaps there are ways where it suits our biology. Maybe it can help move nature up the queue. I think there's lots of possibilities, so let's discuss a few. Now, we all love our berries in the summer and our apples in the fall. Our children love them more than a cotton candy ball. But if only we could replicate that quality across all the seasons, well, plants would beat junk food for many more reasons. Today, plants cost more than good old burger patties, and even in supermarkets, they can look wilted and shabby. It's because we don't grow enough with our own labor and ship them cross-country until they run out of flavor. Now, technology can be a tremendous enabler and help the organic farmer beat her industrial neighbor. Indoor urban farming could become all the rage and supply us with that perfect scent of sage. We shouldn't be afraid of technology in this particular equation. Every home or community could have one of these controlled environment stations. The bottom line is we need to grow more and grow it closer to home. That way plants cost less and taste better, as we have shown. Now we also somehow need to make cooking a whole lot easier. It's time to throw all that junk food right out of the freezer. Now we've got our Instapots and we've got our slow cookers on command, but if only we could make Grandma's recipes on demand. Now I say this at risk of scorn from the foodies, but right now it's just the rich getting the goodies. Working 2 or 3 jobs just to make a living, there's a problem that poses. It leaves less time to cook, let alone smell the roses. Sure, we can all order from Blue Apron with just one click. But it takes a whole lot of time to cook, and what if I'm sick? Now imagine if you had one of these robots for just a few $100s or less. Would it be worth it? I think, oh yes. Pancakes made from 6 whole grains, stone ground with 3 berries on top. You bet that would change the way you shop. The ancients, they tell us to seek variety. It keeps us from getting sick. This kind of automation would certainly do the trick. So yes, technology is part of our posterity, but we need to use it to enhance our variety. We need to think of it a bit more like a time machine so we can enjoy the foods of our ancestors in the Pleistocene. The future of food may not involve a store, but I can assure you it isn't powders and pills and juicers galore. It is luscious salads and spicy curries and warm toddies made better, cheaper, and easier for our Stone Age bodies. Thank you.